So hello, welcome to our week 5 activity for computer web networking. So here's the name of our group member for this project. Muhammad Imran bin Ahmad Helmi, and the ID is 201454, and Muhammad Haziq bin Jamaluddin, and the ID is 201440. Alright, so I'll be explaining each of every line in the TCP client code and TCP server code. Now let's start with the TCP client. Okay, I'll be starting from the line number 2, which is the server name, and which is the server name. The server name is the IP address of the other laptop, which is Haziq laptop. Line number 3 is the server pocket, is the server ports. Line 4 and 5 is the client socket. Line 6 is the sentence. This sentence will ask the user to write in lowercase sentence. Line number 7 is to convert the sentence into bytes. Line 8 is to send the converted sentence to the TCP server that is run on different IP address. Line 9 is a packet data received from server is stored in modified sentence. Line 10 is the data that have been decoded. Line 11 is to print message from server with the sentence in uppercase formats. And lastly, line 12 is to close all the program. Now let's move on to the TCP server. Line 2 sets the server port to 12,000. Line 3 is to create a socket called server socket. This will indicate that the network is using IPv4 and the socket is a TCP socket. Line 4 is to assign the port number, which is 12,000, to the server socket. Line 5 is to specify the maximum number of queued connection, which is at least 1. Line 6 is to print the text which confirms that the server is ready. Line 8 is to create TCP connection between the client sockets and server pockets by accepting the connection. Line 9 takes the packet from the packet's data from connection sockets and put into the variable sentence. Line 10 is to make the data in the variable sentence be uppercase. Line 11 is to send the data back to the client. And lastly, line 12 is to close all the programs. Now I'll be handing over to Imran to explain the other parts.
Okay, thank you. Okay, after that, we will have to test the connection between two laptops by going to CMD and pinging the other laptop's IP address. As shown on the screen, we have to troubleshoot the connectivity, and it seems the connection is operational. Before we proceed to running the program, we should turn off the firewall on both devices. Now that we can proceed with the running the codes, we should proceed with the TCP server first and then move on to the TCP client. Before proceeding to the TCP client, we will first ensure that the TCP server is functional. We can do that by observing whether the output when running the TCP server is the same as shown below in the picture, with the output shown in the picture as shown here. It says the server is ready to receive. Then after that, we can run the TCP client, which will prompt the user to type a sentence in lowercase. In this case, the client typed, "Please do not reply to this message" in lowercase. And then after that, the client will receive a message which is from the server, "Please do not reply to this message," as shown below here. Then after that, we can then obtain the packets of communication between the client and server by opening Wireshark and entering the following code: IP.addr, which is the IP address. We can specify the IP address and the IP address of the server address. And then here is to specify the port, which is TCP port 12,000. Then this would show the communication between the client server and the server and the client server and the client and the server technically. This is the data from the communication. That's it.
Okay, so that will be it for our group project for week number 5 activity. Thank you very much.